I watch out the window as the other kids run up to their homes with their moms waiting outside. The houses are clean, presentable, livable. The bus stops and it's our turn to get off. My brother and I walk down the long, twisting driveway through the swamp, past the double-seater outhouse and the pump that supplies our water for cooking and drinking before we arrive at the door. Our house looks like nobody could live there. We usually shower at other people's houses, but when a strong rain comes and the weather's warm, we are sent out in our bathing suits with a bar of soap to lather up, and we have to stay out there until we're rinsed. I'm ashamed to be poor, but I'm proud of my heritage. I'm an Oneida Iroquois because I have my father's blood. I'm one of the children of the sons, S-O-N, not S-U-N. My grandfather, Richard Dick Chrisjohn, is the chief of our impoverished tribe. My entire childhood, I hear him talk about the Iroquois land claims and how it will bring us out of poverty and to provide a safety net for us. We finally have a small victory in the face of all that our ancestors lost. We will finally have a small victory in the face of all that our ancestors lost. Retribution for the injustice that was done to our tribe. My grandfather speaks in our native tongue, and I, my 3 siblings, and a handful of cousins sit at his feet on the wood floor around the dusty wood stove. He says it's important to keep our language alive. Unska, 1. Dagan, 2. Ask, 3. I listen eagerly to pick out words I know, and I'm so proud when I get it right. Growing up, I help with the crafts my family makes and sells at powwows. When I'm little, I make deer hide necklaces, feather hair ties, and strung beads. As I grow older, I help my father with more complicated work like quivers, baskets, rattles, and carved tabletops. When do I get the bark from the elm tree for the baskets? I ask my father. When the leaves look like squirrel's ears, which makes me laugh, but he's right. When the season shifts, the sap runs between the bark for 1 week out of the year, and that's when the leaves look like squirrel's ears and it's time to strip the bark. My dad didn't start drinking until he was 21, but when he starts, he drinks a lot, mostly with our family. They're construction workers, tree men, and they drink all night and get in barroom fights. I'm 8 years old the first time I smoked pot, and I'm 10 when they let me get myself beers at parties. It's my family, so it feels safe and fun until it's not. When my grandfather's diagnosed with bone cancer, we know it's bad. As he gets sicker, he has delusions. Why do you have a muskrat on your head? He asked me. The day before my grandfather dies, my cousin from up north, Ray Halbritter, goes to the hospital to convince him to sign over a power of attorney. He takes over our nation like a business owner, negotiating deals to sell cigarettes and gas, and then turning a bingo hall into a casino. My grandfather said we would all benefit from the land claims, but my cousin maneuvers to exclude children of the sons. Benefits are only extended to matrilineal descendants, which means the children who are Iroquois through their mother's blood. My siblings and I are cut off from quarterly dividends, multi-$1,000 stipends to go to college. These are all bestowed on our cousins, but not us. I look at my blood quantum paper that has the colorful Oneida symbol stamped on it, a dream I bought into, the essence of who I am. But now we are separate in the nation's eyes, and I am no longer Iroquois. By the time my father's diagnosed with cirrhosis, 3 years later, I'm an addict too. He lives for another year, and during this time, he loves life. I ask him as much as I can about our culture and our crafts, and he gets better for a little time, but when he's 50 years old, his liver fails and his organs begin to shut down. When I visit him in his room, he asks me to take care of my little brother. Then he says, "Can you push my stomach down? I can't get a breath. It's hard and round and filled with fluid. I push it down as he breathes, but it's too much for me. I can't do this, Dad." And I run out of the hospital, and that's the last time I see him alive. As my father is still warm up in the dirt at the Oneida burial grounds, I'm crying and screaming at the Creator and drinking and drugging myself into a stupor. I want cirrhosis to take me too. Enough, I tell myself, still crying. You're stronger than this. I go down to the basement where I have my metalsmithing supplies. I light a joint, pick up a bare tooth, and begin to cap it with silver. I cut, heat, and bend the metal in between tokes, picking out a long rectangular piece of lapis lazuli to mount on top. I'm so high I forget to use pliers and burn my fingers. It takes me a couple of hours, but I finish, buffing it out and soaking my hand in ice water. I can almost hear him laughing at my burns. You be dumb, you be tough. He'd say, that's our family motto, and it still is. We always accept the consequences of our decisions with humor. I string the tooth on a deer lace and put it around my neck. All my pain and sadness are in this piece, a tribute to my dad. For a moment, I feel relief and gratitude. After years of struggle, I quit drugging and drinking. I've come a long way, even though some days it feels like I'm still stuck in the swamp I came from. I'm a child of the sun. I might not have an enrollment card, but I am Oneida Iroquois just the same. Injustice won't destroy me. It fuels me. And I can still honor my ancestors without repeating patterns of self-destruction or passing them on to my children. It ends here.